Hi, I'm Imani Jones, also known as Mizani Faye, and I'm just going to tell you a little bit about myself if that's okay. Who am I? I'm a creative. I'm an eclectic creative who just gained so much creativity and new ideas and inspiration from the world around me. And with that, I use the tools given to me, whether it be a paintbrush, a pencil, a piece of clay, whatever is given to me, whatever spikes my interest, I create whatever. I use those tools to help me create the best image of what I'm envisioning. And so I like to call myself professionally a self-taught multi-medium visual artist. I like to also bring other artists together. I have a small networking group of creatives on Instagram where every once in a while we give each other input, we help inspire each other, we critique each other, we do events with each other, and we just help uplift each other on our journeys to becoming full-time creatives. And I want to continue to see that networking group grow into something so much larger than I can even imagine and explain right now. How did I start drawing? I feel like I've always drawn. I can't really remember a time in my life when I haven't or I didn't. When I was really, really young, let's say 4, my dad would always play this game with me, and I found it the most interesting and the most interesting time waster, I guess you can say, but it inspired me to continue to draw and create. My dad would, anytime we were waiting in line, or not in line, but let's say we're waiting in the car in the drive-thru or waiting for our food at a restaurant, my dad would pull out a piece of paper and a pencil, and he would draw a shape. And then he would tell me to draw a shape. And we did this back and forth for a while until whatever we was waiting for came. And then we would look at our picture and see what we drew, and we would have the most interesting things. What were they? I don't know. But it was so interesting the way our minds came together to create a piece. And that's probably when I first started drawing. From there, growing up, I had 2 brothers, but I grew up as the only child because they were so much older than me. And so as an only child, we kind of feel alone a lot of times. If you're an only child, you understand how I feel. And being able to have a creative outlet as a child, as an only child, was so beneficial. Drawing wasn't my only creative outlet. I used to write poetry and books, but drawing was the best way I was able to completely convey the places in my mind I was going to. I didn't use drawing necessarily for emotional reasons. It was more of an escape. Journaling and poetry was more for getting my emotions out. Drawing was for my escape. Imagining myself somewhere on another planet, somewhere in another realm. Imagining me and my friends doing this, or imagining life if it was like that. Seeing something like a rock and imagining the story that rock could tell. And being able to visually display that was so much, it was everything to me. Because to everybody else, speaking it would just sound too random. What are you talking about? But if you can see it in just one image, an image can tell 1,000 words, they say. So, I have recently started painting. Like I said, I am a multi-medium artist. I use alcohol-based markers. I digital paint. I use graphite. And most recently I've started traditionally painting. And so I'm going to show you guys some of this. So above me, this is Aquarius. I'm an Aquarius sun. And I've always very much resonated with my sign. And also, if you are into astrology and all of that stuff, you know we're also in the age of Aquarius. And so this was just a celebratory of that, of Aquarius season coming in, of the age of Aquarius, as well as the conjunction. So this was that. This is 16 by 20, and these are all acrylic. I'm sorry. I misspoke. This was not for the conjunction. This was for Aquarius season, but not for the conjunction. This was for the conjunction. This came to me as a literal vision. I was standing in front of my mirror when I was doing my hair. I have natural hair. I was doing my hair and I was looking at it. And then all of a sudden I envisioned this woman with her hair going upwards. And it was purple, and she was saying, "Thank you for my crown. Thank you for my crown." And I immediately thought of the crown chakra. If you're aware of your chakras, your crown chakra sits at the top of your head, at the crown of your head. And that's the chakra that allows you to open up and connect to everything that the universe has to offer. And Black people, we are also known to say that our hair is our crown. And our hair, kind of stands up and goes up towards the heavens if you think about it. And so I wanted to draw something representing that. There's some also personal symbolism within this picture with my own spirituality, my own beliefs, and the way I grew up. And some things that I've picked up in adulthood. Things that have carried me and helped, given me strength and comfort throughout life and now, and throughout my 20s now. So this one is called "Thank You for My Crown." And these all, like I said, 16 by 20. Lastly, I'm going to show you the first 3 paintings that I've ever done. I've just started painting in November, this past November. I never thought I would have started painting, but it's something that I've really come to enjoy, and it's such a versatile medium, and I can do so much with it, so much more than I've been able to do with other mediums that I've used. And so I've been overly joyed with using it. So the first 3 paintings I did were November, December, and I think the beginning of January. And so this is a series based off just a random idea and a concept that I had. I heard a song. Okay, so here's the story. So it started off as a song that I heard. It was like a jazz song, and it was called "Birds Fly Higher Than the Moon." So I envisioned a person laying down on a crescent moon, looking up at birds flying over them. that concept moved to from a woman to a male because I tend to draw a lot of women, so I wanted to change it up and make it a male. As I changed it and made it a male, and I was originally going to draw this concept, I was also trying to get myself into a little bit of animation. You know, animation was something that I used to and still I'm very passionate about. And so I was trying to put together like a quick little animation on the side, and it was a girl chasing a balloon. Or it wasn't a girl chasing a balloon, it was a girl buying a balloon, tying a note to it, and then it like flying off. And this was just a random idea that I had for a quick, like, minute long animation. Maybe not even like 30-second animation. And when I thought about the girl letting go of the balloon and I thought about the boy sitting in the moon, the two concepts kind of merged together at some point. And it just kind of made sense to tell a story through. The story has no real depth. It has, let me not say no real depth, but it's for the viewer, the person, you know, taking in the moment of the painting to come to their own conclusion of what this story is, what the story means. And so, and I painted them backwards. I painted them from the last scene to the first scene. So my last painting was my first, so the last painting that I will show you is the first painting that I've ever done. And the last painting that I showed you was the last painting I did in the series. This is the last one. This is the last one that I did, but this is the first one in the series. If that makes sense. I hope I'm not over-explaining. But this is Flew Too Soon. Boy in the Moon. And this one is Untitled. I don't have a name for this one just yet. But see, the story kind of goes, you know, she's chasing after this balloon that has a note attached to it that she accidentally let go. The boy in the moon sees it. He goes and grabs it at some point, I guess. Who knows? I don't know. And then they're together. And I guess the question is, do you know what was in the note? How did they get together? And how did they meet and stuff like that? That's up to the viewer. And that's kind of what I like about this series that I did is it's very subjective, and I believe art is subjective. I don't believe art should be this very grounded thing. I believe it should be very much like air and like water and just flow and be able to go here and go there with it. If you see one thing, if you see red and I see blue, go ahead. You know? If whatever message you personally feel from it, that is what you were supposed to get from it. And that's the point of my art and what I want people to get from it when they see it. I think I've explained and said enough. Again, my name is Mizani Faye. And you can follow me on Instagram at artbyfaye444, where you will see that I'm also doing a 28-day challenge that's going to be over at the end of February, on the last day of February. But if you go over to my page, you'll see that I've been doing a 28-day challenge of every single day doing a digital piece dedicated to Black culture and fun and creative ways. So if you get the chance, go ahead and check that out. Otherwise, it was nice. Thank you for having me on here. This was wonderful. And peace and blessings to all of you watching.